about the bids, Lynn? What do you have?
We had just one bid with Covington, heavy duty, and we could go through all the items. Y'all got them there in front of you. They vary from discounts from 30 to 75%. And I think 75% was only on one item, but I think the average was basically 50 as a whole. But so they gave a discount for every item we put a bid out for.
That has become more of the standard, is to get a % off of the list price, right?
Yes.
So because of
It just simplifies things.
Yep.
So
So we
I recommend us accepting that bid.
recommended that we accept the bids that were submitted, and you say that was the only bidder?
Yes.
Is there a motion?
I make a
Second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Anybody have a question or anything to clarify? If not, we'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's good. All right, Lynn, let's look at Rebuild Alabama.
Rebuild is different than our ARPA funds, of course, but I got, each you should have in your packet the spreadsheet showing the monies of each project. We had a remaining balance of rebuild funds about $469,000, and our federal exchange we had about $188,000 left from last year. That was a carryover. And we'll have a little carryover, but I mean you got overruns and underruns as well that could take place on this. But I can go over each project, kind of tell you what we got going on. And I just got them in numerical order here. But Indian Creek Bridge, this was our a bridge replacement we had on last year's plan that didn't get finished because we're still waiting on some hydraulic data from the state to get started on that job. That is one project. We got our Gantler level, the river bridge over the Pat's Lake River. We got some structural things we need to work on just as a general maintenance on that bridge, and that's another bridge, but that's actually a maintenance issue there. We're going to use some funds for
The funding source for that, is that federal aid?
that is rebuild. I got rebuild on
That's
that.
okay, so that CRAF amount, that's county
Yeah, and we're going to use
Rebuild
we're going to use all the funds from the federal exchange on the Indian Creek Bridge.
Okay, yeah, I see, I couldn't tell what column was what,
Yep,
I'm sorry, I
yep.
didn't know the abbreviation.
And then our signalization product was a carryover again from last year. Will be used from our county rebuild funds. Number 4 is Union Grove Road. That's going to be from the bridge structures right there on McDaniel Road, where it comes back into Union, and it'll carry back over to County Road 93. That's a dirt road that will be putting a surface treatment on that road there. The other one is the Hogfoot Road. That'll be a wide and level and resurface project. That road's in really bad shape down in District 2. That's a really bad road. And then we got also Jacksontown Road, which is in District 3, which is a road that needs some widening and leveling as well. That's a bad road as well. And then we have a short section of Roslyn Ridge Road between Ard Creek Road and Loango Road that we're looking at paving. It's about 0.6 miles in length. That's a dirt road as well. And then we also have Presswood Bridge, which kind of gets shared between District 2 and District 4, and that'll carry it from the existing pavement beyond the bridge there now to Glisson Road. That'll help those folks, because that's a highly maintenance road that needs a lot of maintenance every Monday. It basically needs blading every Monday. It's got a lot of traffic on it, and due to the material that's on the road, it ridges like a washboard. But that's our rebuild plan for this year. Now it can change, we can amend and change it as needed, but that's what we're proposing this year for the plan, and I request approval for this plan.
So there was some carryover funds of about $469,000 from the previous year, and so altogether you're looking at 1.89 million in projects on this plan.
And with that left over, we should have about $74,000 in rebuild funds remaining, and about $124,000 possibly of federal exchange funds.
Okay. I can tell you where we can use it.
Got it. But we can go, because some of this work, the contractor that has most of our annual bid for this, they're needing the work, and a lot of this work can get started on fairly quickly. And also, but I need approval for this plan, so this meet the compliance for the
And this,
rules.
you submit this to the state?
To the state, yes.
All right.
I'll make a motion.
So we have a motion to adopt the plan as presented. Is there a second? Second. All right.
I'll say.
All right, we have a second. Anybody have questions or comments? All right, we have a motion to adopt it. We'll vote. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, that's approved. Thank you for pulling this together and getting it to us.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
Mr. Chairman, can we go ahead and do reports from staff?
We are, yeah. Well,
Thank you.
we're gonna hear what Lynn has while he's up here. What do you have for us, Lynn?
Our 107 project, we'll be actually paving that road tomorrow. They'll be putting the binder surface down that road. It'll take them a while. There's some tedious work next to that paving edge. We're doing the turn lane, the widening for it. It goes from nothing to like 6 feet, so that's kind of some tedious work. But they'll get the binder tomorrow. They'll actually shoot some prime on it, I think, late this afternoon. And we'll start paving up there tomorrow, and we'll be making our ties. Hopefully this week, all that job would be pretty much complete. There'll be a little bit of minor concrete work on the flume where we had to put the pipe in at the drive intersection coming into 55. But other than that, the project, and we got a little bit of sod lay, but we're gonna work on that today as well, getting it ready.
So the
But,
right of way should be about finished, the grass and,
Yeah, the right away, it's dry. We planted earlier, and it's just, it's coming up, it's just really slow. But, that project is, we should have that thing paved this week.
we're
I
anxious.
talked to the contractor this morning, they're gonna pave it and put the binder down tomorrow.
Good.
And they'll come back and put the wearing, which will tire our portions in. That's all they like on what we did from the 107 end back to the other end. And our guys are going to get paint today. They're in Greenville right now getting paint to bring back, and
So sometime next week that we should take barricades down and open
Yes.
that road up.
yeah,
Well,
and then.
that will be nice.
Yeah, and we're gonna go ahead and, I think we're gonna go ahead and stripe the whole 107 back over to 55, all the way back around. But it needs it as well while we're right there, so.
deal.
But, we are,
Have a ribbon cutting?
Can we have a ribbon cut?
She wants to cut the ribbon.
but we got that project, and we're gonna we gotta do our Christie Lane project, there at the apartment complex that's going in there behind the cemetery there on 84, just east of town. And we still got our Murray Road. We're gonna start the rest of the clearing. I was waiting on some rainy days to kind of get going on some of that. We got a lot of work because our rebuild funds that we did for Glen Chambers, Paget, and Art Creek. We're doing the shoulder work for those projects. We're doing those this week. They're getting those done this week. So, but bush hogging is still going as planned. We've got 2 new backhoes in and 1 new tractor. It's not here on the yard yet, but it's here in town. So some of our newer equipment has come in for that. So,
All 4
But-
tractors are running bush hog.
yeah, we had one, that was something we'd had to get something, the other one should be going today, yes. But, other than that, I think that's really all we got as far as major projects going on right now.
Okay. Anybody have questions? Comments? Thank you, Lynn.
I've got just one other question. Again, the contractor, I know we've discussed using some of the ARPA funds for this. I have a total. If y'all want to discuss this now, we can do this later, or however how y'all want to look at doing that.
So what project are you talking about?
The ARPA funds we had set aside for future paving, and I've got those roads and I've estimated costs for those. If y'all want to discuss that now, but we can do that later. It's totally up to.
Well, I don't know. I'd prefer to see it before we bring it up. That's just personal
Okay.
preference.
Well, I've got a copy of it over there. So,
It's not an agenda item, so.
Okay.
All right.
all right.
Any other questions?
You go ahead and get us a copy of it before you leave.
Yeah, I got them right there. Yeah, Ron brought them to me earlier.
All right.
So-
Thank you, Lynn.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
Yep.
Appreciate the work.
Yep.
Glad we're making progress. Good weather helps, doesn't it?
It does help.
Except it's too dry now. Get off the prayers. Release a little rain for us. All right. Other department heads have any reports or comments? Kevin, come
I
on.
got a quick one, yes, sir. Sorry, but I feel like I'm swinging this on y'all. but it's budget time and all that. And we just got this information in late last week. Rachel asked me about coming in on the agenda, and I thought I didn't have anything. Well, that was not the case as of Friday. I'm sure most of y'all have met Mr. Bill Bass. If you haven't, this is Bill Bass, and he's working at the arena for us. He's managing that facility on a daily basis. And what I've presented to y'all is some figures for some new bucking chutes and pins. Now, let me just start off, and I'll be brief. This will give y'all something to look at. The bucking chutes that are down there have been repaired and repaired and repaired. They're all bent. Now, they are all working, but they are in
Worn shape.
worn condition. Yeah, not poor, but they are in fairly worn condition. They will eventually have to be replaced. We've welded on them, patched on them, bent them, straightened them up, and they are usable. Mr. Bill's got a lot of connections in the rodeo industry. He happened to be a bullfighter for the majority of his adult life, and so he contacted this company. What's the name of them? WW. They specialize in bucking chutes. The paperwork that I gave you, just so we're all on the same page, the first one is a 3 right, 3 left bucking chutes. And the second paper there stapled together is just a picture of it. The costs are highlighted for that. The second stapled pages is a 2 right and 2 left bucking chutes. And of course the price for those. I X'd off the pins behind them. The pins are on the final little handout, and the front page is the inside pins only, and the back page is an outside pins. So each one of those prices that are highlighted are individual for what it states at the top of the page. The final paper is actually outside pins, inside pins, and 3 bucking chutes. These bucking chutes are designed to stay in the facility. Most arenas, they do stay in the facility. We would not have to remove them and put them back, remove them and put them back.
Which saves on wear and tear
And
man hours.
I think we added them up, and we spent close to 18 man hours installing those chutes and setting them up properly. And that was me and Bill.
For an event, for one event.
For one event.
Yeah.
It took us 18 hours, and that was 5 people working for several hours to get it all in there. The total cost, and I just jotted this down, but the total cost of the best scenario with the 3 bucking chutes is $82,163.90. That would replace everything down there with all the pins. The 2 bucking chutes, and I'll let Bill explain, or if y'all have any questions, he says we'd be fine with 2 bucking chutes. He said the 3rd bucking chute is hardly ever used, but it also gives us an avenue for some sponsorships. We can sponsor 6 bucking chutes. And that's another something that's new to me. I don't know a whole lot about it. The event coordinators that come in, Alabama High School Rodeo, Junior High School Rodeo, they sell sponsorships to bucking chutes, and they hang banners on those bucking chutes. Bill said, in his opinion, we didn't need more than 4, but having 6 is nice. And we do have all this broken down separately because this might be something we can do part of this year, part of next year, and others in the future. The primary thing is leaving them in there and having the loading lanes correct. I don't have a picture of the existing, but if you look at the 3 bucking chutes, the loading lanes that come in on the side of the entrance on both sides, so there's no animals right behind the bucking chutes, like there is now.
That's what I wanted to ask you all about. If we're gonna reconfigure this thing, when we had the pro rodeo, they had the issues about couldn't get in behind them because of the animals and all that.
This is the way to go.
This
This
will fix
fixes
all that.
that. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
That's the
Absolutely.
main thing that I was concerned about. If we ever do something, to make sure that process was fixed.
It would be.
Bill, is that a common problem that they can't get behind them? Are you hearing that on the other, like the junior rodeo, high school rodeo? I've never heard that before, to be honest with you, that they couldn't get in behind the bucking chutes.
So, the way your set is set up, you guys are the only ones that have that.
Yeah.
No
Well,
other
I've never
place
seen it.
I've ever gone to. You have your pins, and then you have probably from here to that, maybe not quite that far, but it's 8 feet at least of space for people to stand, get up on the back of the bucket chutes. They have a fold-down porch.
Right.
That's how this is designed. You have a fold-down porch for the contractor to stand.
I've got some pictures if y'all want to see them. They're ready. We
But
can show y'all later.
yeah, anyways, having the 90s, the lead up alleys, as they call it, with the 90s that go directly into the buck and shoots versus your configuration, you have a man or two in the big alley trying to force a bull into an alley, moving gates here and there. It's just unsafe for people to be in there with a possible raging animal. I don't
Okay.
know, but-
I've never heard the complaint about not being able to access it that closely, so that's interesting.
Because your back pins are up against the buck and shoots.
I don't know if y'all are
People
familiar with
actually
what's
stand.
there now, but this is what he's talking about. Where we have things hanging on the back of this now, a board with metal that they're standing on that's kind of small. This is what the new one would look like. Eric, can I scan you to go to the next picture or do I have to back?
We'll watch that.
So,
So,
these are all pictures of the new buck and shoots, what it would look like.
so.
But it has it where the animal don't get right up against the buck and shoot too. Where they can't even get, they have it where the animal can't even get in behind the buck and shoot with the new configuration.
So right now,
So
what you
we
have
don't-
is a 6-inch board.
Bill, let me mention that. Really don't want to get into all the details on that. I mean, this is served well, but I think there's some discussion to have, maybe individually or outside of the meeting. So let's hold on that part.
And we
Another
didn't-
concern I have is this is over the bid law limit. So whatever we do, as good as this company is, we're probably going to have to find a way to bid it to meet be in compliance with the law.
I've gave a chance to everybody.
Well, but that's not a bid. There's a
Understand.
formal process for the bid, and we have to invite everybody to propose. And so this company may be the only one that proposes, depending on the
We would
design.
we could use
or
some of this
specs.
for our specs to
Yeah, that's right.
spec it
That's
out
right.
and then send it out for bid,
So,
of course. I just wanted to update y'all.
Another question I'll mention, just because it's on my mind now, is the ability to move the chutes out. I mean, we've done that over and over and over, and I hear what you're saying, but there's a reason you want them out of the way for certain events. So if the fair is having livestock exhibits in the arena, the ability to go between the buildings and through that end where the buck and shoots are is important, or it could be for a concert. So we need to be sure when we're looking at it, we look beyond a rodeo event. Be sure you're looking at the other options for using the facility and make sure that you're not consuming floor space that's important for other events. So just a thought on whether you want portable or permanent shoots in place.
I think these would be portable. We would hope that we could leave them in there as much as
I
possible.
thought you said they were left in there. I
We
misunderstood.
would love to leave them in there. We left
Yeah.
the ones that are in there, we have now, they're actually still in there.
Yeah, and
Until
that's
we
fine.
have to move them out.
Right,
For,
okay.
for a different event.
I
But
misunderstood.
the way these are, they're built actually closer to the door. They don't stick out quite so
They're not
far.
as far out in
Because
the-
of the way the cattle sheets are made to bring the cattle in and stuff. It kind of shows you, it's got even measurements on those pictures about what place, how much space it would take up in the arena.
Maybe you want to coordinate, Bill, Kevin, with a couple of commissioners. Say,
Oh, yeah.
hey, let me show you the slides, talk about the issues and why this is preferable over this, and then do that with each of them, individually or a couple of them.
Well, that's
at a
why I
time.
wanted to just mention this to y'all and
Good.
just hand out, just something to look at, because it will be definitely in the future. It's
Good
not
deal.
Nothing we're asking for today, for sure.
Has it been going pretty good, Bill, from your perspective? The facility, the operation, the activities?
I feel like everything is going as good
Good.
as it can be. I mean, I do everything I can to put our best foot forward and make us look as good as possible.
Heard a lot of good reports from folks using it, so we appreciate the effort y'all are making.
He has, he's done an exceptional job. He
Good
really
deal.
has.
If you made Kevin happy, you're doing good, so.
I don't think I've said that yet.
He's still trying. It's a work in progress.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming today, Bill. Other departments?
I sent an email a couple weeks ago about our safety training. It will be this week. It'll be Wednesday and Thursday. It will be our Southern Alcohol annual training for all county employees, and y'all are welcome to come
Okay.
Will it be here, Susan?
in this training.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Cats?
Good report, the vans are starting to roll in, starting to get graphics. I looked we'll be getting a phone call in the next 2 weeks to start picking up.
Okay. Eric, do you have anything? Or Rachel? Okay.
Greg?
We're gonna, not right now, we're gonna go into executive session, but before that, I'd like to ask commissioners if you have anything you want to share, at this time, or questions, items you want to bring before the executive session. I assume we're going into executive session, we'll see how you vote. Morgan, is it appropriate from your perspective that we go to executive session?
Yes, sir. Commissioners, I have 2 matters that I need to bring to your attention, and I recommend we go into executive session.
All right, so we need a motion and a second and a vote in order to do that. Is there a motion?
Motion.
A second.
And a second. We need a roll call, I can't remember.
We do have to do a recorded vote.
District 1,
Yes.
District 2,
Yes.
District 3,
Yes.
and District 4.
Yes.
Easier to do it that way than try to remember names. They all right, we have a 4-0 vote to go into executive session. After that, we will leave that meeting, that session, come back out here to adjourn this meeting. There may be an item of business that we conduct coming out of that meeting, I just don't know. And for media, I suspect you could convince Kyle to forward you the results of that so you don't have to hang around. So you're certainly welcome to hang around if you like. So we will recess from here and come back, reconvene after the executive session. Thank all of you for being here.